Okay.
All right, got it. Welcome, welcome. For those of you on the call right now, and for those of you that may be viewing this after tonight's meeting, we want to make sure that your club has filled out the youth compliance forms. Naomi, do you see anyone online right now that they need to follow up? And can you give us a number of how many maybe have completed and we still yet to contact?
Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of people that still need to send in their form. So let's see. Kona Malka needs to send it in. Kaneohe is good. Thank you. Let's see. Eva Beach needs to send one in. And Pearl Harbor is good. We have Pearl Harbor. And Hilo is good.
I'm sorry, Naomi, what are we sending in that we've never sent in?
The youth protection certification.
Oh, from who didn't do it? Because I think I did I did mine.
Well, you went to, oh, that's not the background check, it's the certification that the club president needs to sign.
Oh, okay, sorry. That's James then, right?
Right.
Okay, sorry.
Where can we access that form?
When you go to the district website, so let me show you where it is on the website.
Youth protection.
Okay. Okay, so when you go to the website, go to go to what we do, avenues of service, go to youth service. And then when you go to youth service, it's right here, club compliance certification form.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Okay, perfect. So yes. Naomi, how would a club know that they haven't done it yet?
We can send out a reminder to everyone who didn't with the form. We'll send the form out and ask them to please send it in soon.
Okay, great. And in order to get this compliance form, they would have to have attended either via web or the actual training that
Yeah.
who did?
We'll send the recording link.
Yeah, YPO. Okay, all right. I see him. All right. So updates on youth service programs and policies. For Interact, October is Community Economic and Development Month. So I know that there is a form that is going around. I think it's due November 1st for Interact clubs to be recognized.
Oh, for the
award.
Oh, you know what? I think that is past due. Let me look it up.
Okay, could be. I thought it was by November 1st. It might be. And
Okay.
this is the RI award, yeah?
Yep. It's kind of hard. If anybody saw what the criteria is, it's a little hard to get that one.
Yeah.
But if you want to just go on to Steve, since Steve's here while I look that up.
Okay, Steve, we're gonna jump right to you. Hi, Roz. And this is gonna be for the HRYF, Hawaii Rotary Youth Foundation Club agreements. Oh, and the deadlines for scholarships.
So HRYF is still in existence, and we'll be sending out applications soon. What was your specific question again?
You want to go over the HRYF application process, or?
Sure, I can do that. There's a form that gets sent out, and if for some reason you don't get one, just go on the website, You can download it very easily. It's also in, we send it to all the schools' guidance programs, so students can, if they go to their guidance office, they can get it there as well. Applying is the same as it's always been. You got to fill out, I think it's like a 3-4 page application form. It's pretty simple. You got to write an essay, a short essay, 1 pager. We're not doing FAFSA again this year because that is still screwed up. So we're bagging that. No need for SAT, ACTs anymore. At least not this year. We'll see where that goes. But it's the same as always. Deadline, I believe, is February 1st. I could be off a day or two, but I think it's February 1st. Naomi, do you know? Yeah. So it's almost always February 1st, 2nd, 3rd, something like that. So yeah, same. Otherwise, same as always.
Okay.
Question?
Yeah, so go ahead, Masai. I'm sorry. Oh, Masai is brand new to Rotary.
Hi,
Yes.
sorry,
And
hi,
hi, Masai.
hi.
She's from the Rotary Club of Hilo Bay. She's also our Interact Advisor for St. Joseph High School here in Hilo. So Masai, Steve is just telling us that the Rotary applications are coming out and they're due by
Okay.
February 1st. So if you have any students, and I believe you can apply for scholarships for any college within the United
Oh.
States. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Masai, hi.
Hi, nice to meet you, sir.
もしかしたら日本の方でしょ
はい、もしかしなくても日本の人です。
う。やっぱりなんとなくそう思ったけど、じゃあ、
ありがとうございます。
このことわざしてますか？語に言っては語に従い。
はい、知ってます。
So all you guys, what I just said is she must know this Japanese expression, which is when in Rome, do as the Romans. And so that
I
means
do Hawaiian.
we should speak in English. Well, maybe
Yeah.
Hawaiian, but we'd be here all
Like
night.
pigeon. I do pigeon.
So thank you, Masai. So Masai, you're not familiar, but HRYF is a great program. Please try to get your interactors, especially to apply. That is one of the factors that an applicant can, get ahead with is being an interactor, especially if they're an interactor officer. That's hard to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, interactors are great candidates. I don't know about where you are or your club, but a lot of clubs, they give something to every applicant. So my club does this, Pearl Ridge, West Honolulu. A lot of clubs will give something to the non-winners. So the winners get a $5,000 scholarship. And
So I was sorry, I get in the meeting and like in the middle of the explanation. So you talking about like some kind of essay or something to
let
apply
me
for the
explain.
scholarship?
So, geez, 50 years ago, you ever shop at Foodland?
Yeah.
You know Foodland, huh?
Mhm.
So the founder of Foodland was a gentleman named Sully Sullivan. And Sully was an Irish immigrant.
Mm.
And when he was a young man, his family was so poor, they had to immigrate from Ireland they went to New York City.
Hawaii. New York. Oh.
And New York City was too difficult, so they went to Buffalo, New York.
Mhm.
And Sully got a job at a grocery store there called Atlantic and Pacific,
Mhm.
which turned into a chain called A&P. And I think they're out of business now, but they were popular when I think most of us were growing up, like me. And so he was in charge of the produce section at A&P.
Mhm.
And then the war started. And so he enlisted and they took him. And they asked him, what do you do? And he goes, well, I manage the produce section at A&P. And they go, we got a job for you. So they sent him to Hawaii and made him the head of the general's mess at Fort Kamehameha, which is now within the Hickam Air Base.
Mm.
And so he was in charge of getting fresh ingredients every day. And part of that was produce. And so he would go to stores around the island looking for the best and freshest produce. And he found it in Kailua at a little store called Lao's. And the Laos were, you know, Chinese, and they had a daughter who he fell in love with. So after the war, he got out and stayed, and the Lao little store soon became the first A&P, or I mean, the first food land using A&P principles, and they've done very well. So he was also a Rotarian, and he was district governor in 76, 77. Sorry, guys, for telling this story. If you want to cut me off, do so, please. But for Masai.
Sorry.
To commemorate that year, he started a foundation to give scholarships to the best and brightest. And they've been doing it ever since. And so now we're giving 5,000 scholarships out to every club. Every club runs their own scholarship competition. So please have kids, you know, apply in your club.
Okay.
Questions?
It's gonna be online.
No, the interviews are, well, the interviews are part of the application process too. The application is online. You need to submit
Application.
the application electronically to whoever in your club is in charge of HRYF. And then there'll be a scholarship interviewing committee in your club who will interview the applicants.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. Only because I know Hilo Bay. Masai is a new Rotarian on top of this. So Masai, you already have a HRYF committee. Hilo Bay does an outstanding job and is a strong supporter and does checks off all the boxes when it comes to compliance with HRYF. So Tim Hansen is pretty familiar
Oh,
with
Tim.
it. Yeah.
Okay. So I
Okay.
should ask him then.
Yep.
Okay. I'll go
Okay.
to the meeting on Wednesday. So yeah, thank you.
Okay. All righty.
Okay,
Thanks
any
for
other
that.
questions?
Okay, so Steve,
Yeah.
every club has made their per capita amount. Yes?
Oh, wait, say that again.
Every club made per capita.
I'm not sure. I asked our administrator, Tina Yap, to get up to speed on that, and I see that she's emailed a bunch of people here today. I got CC'd on about 20 emails to clubs. So we're getting up to speed on that, and we'll have that worked out soon.
Okay, so if we could please make sure that the clubs all make their $20 per capita in June, so that June 30 comes around, they all qualified. Because you know, it's really heartbreaking if they find out later on that they didn't qualify for 5,000.
So everybody understands the qualification process. You really don't want to talk about it. Masai, you don't want to hear about this, trust me. But
Yeah, just double check with Tim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so there are no changes to the criteria for the scholarship, right? It's still for tuition only.
Yes, ma'am.
And high school seniors only, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Steve, I thought that this committee had discussed being able to use it for books as well.
We have, it hasn't been decided.
Oh.
So right now, it looks like this year it'll be for just tuition only again. Yeah, it's so difficult to police, yeah. That's really the problem that I see.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, even if it was just for books, we still have to give the check to the school and then have the school monitor it, and it just a lot of pilikia, yeah.
Where else? Okay, thanks, Steve.
Okay,
Any other questions for Steve? Anybody on this call? If not, Steve, can they reach out to you directly?
absolutely, anytime.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right.
So
The
Jen,
next,
Jen, can we
yes.
go back to awards? Let me share a screen and I'm going to
Yeah.
show you, from Rotary International. This is their awards page. So see awards at Rotary International. So for Interact, they have
Oh, you just passed it. Oh, yeah, there you go.
so they have two awards. One is the Club Excellence Award. That one was due August 15 for last year. So that one is passed. So for this year, August 15 is the deadline in 2025 for this year's Club Excellence Award. Then the other one is World Interact Week recognition. And so that one you can do at any time. And that one is when a Interact club does something during the World Interact Week, which is the first week in November. And then they get a certificate. Okay, so if your club wants to do that. There's also a video awards, but on that one, the nomination period is October 1st to December 1st. So you can still do that one if if a club wants to do a video.
Correct.
Okay, so if you go to the awards page on Rotary International's website, you can find these awards, the criteria, and how to submit those the nomination forms.
Perfect. And I'm sure just getting a recognition from Rotary International, whether your video does well or even if it doesn't, is quite significant among all the Interact clubs that Rotary International has. So go for it, guys. Go for it. Please do. Please submit. All right, let's move on to RILA 2025. All right, Oahu RILA, January 31st through February 2nd at Camp Erdman. I believe their pricing is $250 per student. And what they're really looking for is for Rotary clubs to get involved with the recruitment of their students and to try to get the old interview process done, or at least get to know your students that you're sponsoring. So the big newsbreaker is that the Big Island, apparently our Kilauea military camp is not available on the 14th through the 16th. They did a double booking in error. Their system was down when they were taking reservations. So as Rotarians do, we
Wait,
fold.
is Randy still in charge there? Come on, Randy can do something.
No, Randy's gone. He's retired
Okay.
for a few years now. I know that guy pretty good. But the good news, it's January 31st to February 2nd for the Big Island. So we will be, Karen, did you get the email I just sent out?
I glanced at it and was surprised. So
Yeah, surprise. The good news is that we won't be interfering with anybody's Valentine's Day. And we're gonna make it work. And I can tell you that the RILA committee, at least on the Big Island, is working already with programs, getting their students, and they've had several trainings. As also, I understand Rick Tabor and his group have already had their meetings, already began recruitment. We will be using the application as the ones before, Karen and Masai. Have them go to rilahawaii.org and use that. The registration link will be opened probably by the end of the week. if
Okay.
not before. All right.
The deadline
Jen?
for Oahu is December 31st, so we've got to get those applications in.
Yes, ours too. December 31st, whether it was no matter what week, because we had to start turning away kids last year. So that was sad. So we don't want to do that. Yeah. Maui, as far as we know, still February 14th through the 16th. And Kauai is already in preparing to have theirs, correct? It's already in progress, about ready to launch. So good for them. Congratulations. Yay. Any questions regarding RILA? For our Big Island team, our meeting for RILA will be on November 7th. Unfortunately, Rick and his is not here tonight to give us an update. Unless somebody on this phone call knows what's going on, we'd be happy to hear. No? Okay. All right, it's going to be a fast meeting, guys. Okay. Junior RILA, discussions about program for Junior RILA at each island's RILA event. I know transportation would be a big situation, so I'm not sure how that will work. But we hope to do it before May 2025, correct, Naomi? If it's,
I don't think Junior RILA is going to happen at all.
okay.
It seems that it's going to be hard to organize that, and the idea of putting them with a big RILA, I don't think that's going to work. Maui was going to do it, but the person they were working with on the curriculum is now busy with politics, so we don't have the curriculum.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. There will be a reprieve, but probably reintroduced in the 25-26 year for Junior RILA, correct?
Right. So was somebody's Jeannie, was it you that you guys are working with a club, a new middle school interact? Oh, there's
For Ridge, I thought, huh?
was it well, Pro Ridge, but there's another club that's starting a new middle school. Kahala was looking at Wilson. I forget who was the other one. I thought it was Kakako, Iko Kakako. But anyway, I think we hear that for Junior RILA, they want to do it in person. So the Zooms are not going to work. So each island should try and consider organizing something for the Junior RILA. So it's going to take a lot of coordinating because they're in middle school. But you know, it's very impactful to get them together. For
Yeah, and-
Interact, we should do that as well. You know, trying to do an in-person conference for Interact. We used to do one statewide, but flying people over was very expensive, and then you have to find a bigger place. So for Oahu, we are working with Pearl City High School. The principal has agreed to let us use the school for a leadership, Interact leadership conference. And so we're working with the students on the curriculum. So it's going to be a general assembly and then breakout sessions for things that they want to learn. So if we can develop that curriculum, you can duplicate this on every island. So maybe have it at Hilo High School for East Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, Waikea or even St. Joseph. And of course, we would love for West Hawaii to join in with us too. If it's possible. I think we could do that.
Yeah, because Keith Hayashi is really excited about this, and he said that he could help with contacting the principals.
You know, and even if we have the Interact kids, even for an hour or two, to do a Zoom with the possibility of Junior RILA attendees,
Yeah.
you know, they being the lead for the, yeah, I think it's a great possibility. Awesome. Yeah. Anybody else have any ideas towards that? No, we're all good. Okay, new old business. Recap meeting with DOE superintendent. I did attend via Zoom, but Naomi, can you enlighten us on all these things?
Well, Keith wanted to have a map of all of the Rotary clubs and kind of match them to schools. And so he's looking at elementary, middle, and high school and seeing how we can form a partnership. So if the school needs help with a career fair or something, there's a Rotary club that's kind of in that group that can help. So we're putting together a list of all of the schools with the Rotary clubs that have some kind of connection with that school. So Keith Hayashi is very he's very high on this partnership. So Alfonso brags, or he's the one who said that they're working on a junior interact club with KMS. KMS, is that the Central Middle School? Some middle school. And so they're going to plan something on a Saturday with 3 main sections. It's a leadership workshop, a fun education activity, and some community service project, all incorporated into that thing. And so they're going to, oh, so he's talking to the school about having some kind of junior interact conference. So we'll see what he has to put, he has on that content, and maybe that can be replicated on different islands. And then he met with Superintendent Keith this morning, and he spoke about the presentation with Rotary, and he's going to be visiting schools to kind of promote that partnership. So that's Alfonso brags with the Downtown Honolulu Club.
That's awesome that he's doing that. That really is. And although it might be just information and logistics gathering, I think it could really fly and do something great for next year. So yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of the meeting with the DOE superintendent. And I guess once we get that map, that's when we can continue on with the 2 and 3. Is that correct, Naomi? Or should we already be going through that step? Or is Alfonso taking it from there?
Well, I think what we can, okay, we want to put together a newsletter for the district on youth services. And we want to list out all of the Interact clubs and what club is associated with that club. But we also want to highlight some of the projects that you've done. So I think we should start compiling that list of what projects you've done with the schools, so we can put it in that newsletter for the district, so people know, what's going on with our programs. Because youth service programs, I mean, that's a really huge thing, and people need to know about the good work that the clubs are doing.
Yeah, I agree. And more importantly, for clubs that have new members, they love participating in the youth projects. And it's a great way to keep them involved, get them a responsibility, and be like us, that we don't give it up for a long time. Because once you pierce your heart, man, you can't let them go, and it happens year. Yeah. Right, Masai? That's why you do what you do, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, it's a great recruitment tool to get the new members involved and for them to bring their friends to your club. So, Interact clubs, Masai, I'm working on with Hawaii High Interact to do that right now. And with Interact Week this week, they're going to be attending our club meeting. So, yeah, let's show them off. And that's for everybody else's club. I know Kona has Kealakehi. Maybe the West Hawaii clubs can go ahead and get them to promote some of their projects, along with Lapu Hoi Hoi and the many, Perich. Hey, you guys are like an institution of youth services and all that you do with your youth. So awesome. Everybody else. Okay. Based on Ryan's agenda, we, again, he didn't expect to be called out, but he was. Is there any other discussion that any of you might have, or pending questions, burning questions, or just information that you would want to share with the people that are on the Zoom call tonight?
Hey, Omi, hi, this is Janine Arnold with Kaka'ako Eco Rotary Club. Sorry, I was on the drive to the airport, so I have to pick somebody up here. I I had the opportunity to meet with our Interact advisor, and our Interact group is it's Pacific Buddhist Academy, which is a very, very small school. And one of the things that she told me that she's struggling with is the way that her Interact club is set up is that it's actually set up as a class. So they have, I think it's like a 6 weeks where the students will be in the Interact club, and then she gets a brand new group of students. So one of the things she's struggling with is that how to keep the excitement going when she's having new students every 6 weeks. And they're also having issues on kind of knowing like what to do for projects, because they're meeting over a lunch hour. So in order for them to like do anything, they have like 50 minutes twice a week, and that's it. So they're really struggling on knowing kind of how to get involved, how to keep the excitement going, and kind of how to overcome some of those challenges. So I wanted to get some feedback from any of the other clubs and see what they might have done, or if they have a similar situation.
So they meet at lunch, but it's a class?
Yes. It's like it's like an extracurricular, but it's a class. So they sign up like a class. And like I say, she gets new students every other time, and you know, they don't always want to stay doing the same thing, because you know, the students they might have the choice of like Interact club or an art club or gardening or something like that. So they don't always want to stay with the same thing throughout the entire year.
Mhm. So just a quick question, do you know if they have a students' activities faculty involved in that middle school? Because if it's every 6 weeks, then there should be holiday projects that they can at least do for at least their own school, or PTSA. PTSA is really heavy in middle school too. Mm.
Yeah, I know, like I said, I don't think they have like a PTSA, just because, I mean, the school's only got 80 students. So, like I said, it's a very small private school, and I don't know, that was just something that she had brought up as far as a challenge she's trying to deal with, and figuring out what they can do to really have projects and that are more impactful.
Hey, Jeannie, do you invite them to your environment projects on Saturdays?
We have, they haven't had a lot of participation. And I'm not sure exactly why. So we're working, you know, I think the youth service chair prior to me was not very forthcoming. So we're trying to build a better relationship and have more conversations, so I can get more involved and get them more involved in things that the club is doing as well. So it's just kind of a new process for us. So
Well, because your club does a lot of projects on weekends, and they're
yeah.
really fun projects. So what if you had a schedule and you gave it to the parents? So anybody who went through the program, even though it's not their 6 weeks, can join in the project and have them and have their parent bring them to the project. Then you can just post the project and keep in touch with them that way.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If I can get the list of their previous members, and
Yeah, or just, you know, if you give them the list and have them post it, and
yeah,
show them how to register so you know who's coming. But that way they know that they're regular things that you do, and they get to do things outside of their school with their parents. I'm sure their parents would want to do some stuff with you too.
Yeah. Okay.
And congratulations. They're going to have 10 students from Ryla going to Ryla from the Buddhist Academy.
Yay.
Well, we committed to 10 students for our club. After I met with Rick Tabor, he's like, I want to kind of branch out because we want to also get some diversity. So they may not all be from PBA, but yeah, I know we've also, oh, that was the other question I had. So once the students have completed the application and it goes to the district, how does our club get notified so we can start the interview process?
We're supposed to be getting lists of who registered, and we are supposed to send it back to you so you know who registered. Because if there's some student that registered that's not on your list, I asked Rick, who's going to pay for that student? Do we tell them no can, or do we find money for them? So we'll get
Yeah.
that process soon set up so that we know who's coming and who's not.
Okay, yeah, I know I've already had 2 applicants, but I don't have the names or anything yet, so.
Yeah, there was a glitch on the documents. The consent form wasn't being downloaded or something, so I think they fixed it today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Hey, I have
you.
a question. You have this Interact Club and happens at lunch and it's a small school, you said, correct?
Yeah, yes.
At any one time, how many kids do they have at lunch?
I think the largest group they've had was maybe 15.
15, and then when their time frame is up, they're wondering what to do with those students or those kids?
Yeah.
Why don't you offer them the opportunity to help out during the next session?
Say that again.
But maybe the ones that's finished the training can help out with the training of the next session, so that they can still be involved and be like mentors to those still in the class that's still being trained.
Yeah, I mean,
This way you wouldn't lose them.
no, and I think some of them have, continued to stay involved, but they're not able to go to the meetings because they're taking, something else during that time period.
Oh, okay, so they move on to something different.
Yeah.
Okay, this is great. That's good though. Really good.
Thank you, though.
Hey, Jeannie, do they have officers?
Yes.
So maybe the officers can help with keeping all of the cohorts together. So even if they're not in the class, they can still keep in contact with them so they can do the projects with you on Saturdays.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're hoping for, is that the officers will do that. And then also I know that Megan does also, keep all of the people that have come through, try and keep them in the loop with all of the communications and all of that. So.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Lisa, I saw your hand up earlier. Did you have something to ask?
Oh, no, I was just clapping
Oh,
for
clapping.
all of the
I'm sorry,
recruits.
Miss.
Yeah, for Ryla.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Any other questions for Naomi, myself? We can get to Ryan. Ryla is our big push right now. Of course, with the Interact clubs, there's so many activities in the community that all of the clubs can be a part of. They are accepting volunteers left and right with the not only veterans, because we do have veteran parades that are coming up soon, but mostly Salvation Army, all those that feed the hungry during the Thanksgiving, getting ready for Santa, the gift boxes, what do they call those shoe boxes? I forget. There are so many projects available for any of your Interact clubs. Just getting materials, donations, sending them out to the international. What is that thing? Not shelter box, but what is that boxes?
Shoebox,
Huh?
the shoebox projects?
The shoebox projects, yeah. Though, you know, those are always fun. It's easy to find the information. We do it ourselves. I forget what it's called, but yeah, that's just a fun way to do good. And that might be, Jean, that might be one of the projects you guys can start in right away, is start to do those small things. Get the 50 minutes by them getting even the shoe boxes to put all the donations in and do a good thing for their community or internationally. All right. Any other questions? Yes, Steve.
Excuse me. This really isn't a question. Well, I guess there is a question. You know, listening to all this and all the activities that you guys do, I'm just so impressed. So number one, some feedback. Please keep it up, all you guys. Number two, it reminded me that I think I have another project that I can throw into the mix here for interactors. And really not a project, but it's more passive. It's a seminar roundtable that educates. So let me explain. You know, there's 8 retired Army colonels in my Rotary Club, the Pearl Harbor Rotary Club. And we decided to come up with a program called Journey to Peace Initiative, we call it. And you might have noticed, but we're progressing through the 80th anniversaries of the major battles and campaigns of the Pacific Theater of World War II. And right now, or the last few days, is the 80th anniversary of the Leyte Gulf operation. And I don't know how many of you are military historians, but that was the largest naval battle in the history of the planet. And there were more men, materiel, air, and planes involved there than at Normandy and Anzio combined. It was a huge undertaking. And it was the last time that the Japanese Navy and Air Force decided to, you know, for a decisive battle. And it didn't work, but it was still a very, it was a big battle. And our next one is going to be on the firebombing of Japan. The one after that's going to be the battle for Manila. After that, Okinawa. We're going to have the atomic bombs. So we're going to have, like, every 2 or 3 months, we're going to have a round table. And we bring in world-class panelists for this. So we have an author. We have either a 3 or a 4-star retired general. We have a professor. We have an ambassador. And it's hosted by Karen Knudsen from the East-West Center. It's very well done. We always have it at the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum on a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. It's free. And what we'd like to do is bring in younger people. Interactors would be perfect. We want to bring in people who are going to be future leaders and just to educate them, not only on what happened, but off ramps to avoid it. And especially in today's climate in Asia, there's a big similarity between the 1930s and 40s Japan and present China. And we discussed that as well. So it's very productive, very educational for kids. So given that, if it's okay, I'd like to send to, you tell me who, but how can we get interactors to come to this? How can we disseminate this? Who do I send a flyer to?
There's several ways you can send it to the public image group and put it on the website on a blog for anybody to go. For interactors, you send it to Jen and we can get it out to the chairs to give out on Oahu that information. But it's also for any Rotarian, right, that can go?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I emailed Ted and Mark a couple weeks before, but I never heard anything back, so I don't think they disseminated it. So that's kind of a disappointment, but I'll keep trying.
Okay, well, there's a blog on the district website, and even though the blog is kind of hard to read because it's hard to catch things, you send it to the public image at Rotary D5000 and they'll put it on. So maybe somebody will catch it. But also, we're going to start a newsletter. And so Benson is putting a group together to start a monthly newsletter. And so that's where we can put that information, but it hasn't started yet. We don't have the group yet. So just send it to Jen and we'll get it at least to the youth service chairs.
Yeah, and that's Jen T, JENT, the number 4 Rotary at Gmail. Jen T for Rotary. And I found it, it's Operation Christmas Child, the shoebox thing. So you guys can Google it or whatever, and it explains all the things that are necessary, but it does make a difference in children's lives. So that's great information, Steve. These high school kids are very, very hungry for those type of leadership and opportunity events that they can learn something more.
Well, we just found that especially younger people have no clue. Even adults have never heard of Leyte golf. You need to know your history to be able to not repeat it. So
you got it.
it's all about education. And Jen, can you repeat your email, please?
Jen T for Tanoi and the number 4 Rotary at Gmail.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. All righty, guys. Any other questions, information that we want to share while we're on this call? Okay, we're going to wrap it up early tonight. Then next meeting will be the 4th Monday, which will be November 25th. Sorry, need to correct that on the agenda. November 25th. That's the Monday before Thanksgiving. But this year, once we get into these October, November, December months, it flies by. And we just got to do those follow-ups. We got to make sure we stick to what we promise. And the beneficiaries are always the youth. So let's do it. Okay. It's been a great evening, great meeting, and we'll see you guys next time. Feel free to reach out to either me, Naomi, or Ryan at any time, and we all 3 of us will get that and respond accordingly and as fast as we can. So take care. Aloha.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.